Just one of those nights where you're watching the game as a Rays fan and going, this is not fun. This is not fun.
Comedy of errors. It's been that way in Baltimore the last couple days. A comedy of errors.
I literally, and 3 errors last night after 4 the night before. And that phrase crossed my mind last night. Like, it was a comedy of errors. It was just one of those games where even the play where we ended up eventually finding out Griffin Jacks got hurt was, him getting struck with the ball. Not funny at all. Especially, I saw on the Tampa Bay Times, 107.3 miles an hour off the bat, apparently. The ball that hit Griffin Jacks right square in the middle of the bat. But him getting hurt, not funny at all. But the rest of the play was almost comical. Junior trying to get the ball after the deflection off of him, and just it was a rough night for Griffin Jacks, a rough night for the Rays again, and there's so much about it that is frustrating, from decision making to the final score to just we were sitting here just yesterday, and we were talking about how many arms they had to use 2 nights ago, and we're like, hey. Griffin Jacks, I at least was like, hey, Griffin Jacks has gone 5 innings each of the last 2 games. Maybe he's ready. Maybe they get 6 out of him tonight, and they couldn't get even 3 out of him because of the injury. So
it's it's
frustrating night.
Yeah, frustrating, I think, is a good word for it. And Clevenger, I thought, looked really good. You had Kimbrel come in here and make his debut for the Rays. He went 1 inning, and it's just one of those things that you look at this last 2 games and you just hope that it's a fluke and it's not the Rays that we've seen throughout this season. Typically, when the Rays score first, they win ball games. Yesterday, the Rays scored first. They did not win the ball game, and it was that second inning that was their undoing yesterday. And you get hit like he did, and he stays in the game because he's a warrior. Now, he eventually did leave the game, and he's day-to-day, but they do expect that he's going to be okay. He said he thinks he got lucky, and it hit him in a good part of the back.
Yeah.
But that, there's a ground ball that could turn into a double play to Palacios that would end the inning and get out of the trouble there, but it bounces off the bag and takes a weird hop. I'm personally not putting that on Palacios. Of course, he
looked rushed in the situation, and that could have been part of it, but if it hits the bag, it's tough to make a play.
I think it's more of it hit the bag. It's just anybody who's been at that position knows that once that ball hits the bag, anything weird can happen. That's why fielders are taught if they can get the ball before the bag, if they can find that hop before it potentially hits the bag, you take it. But he did not have the time to do that. So would we have loved to make that play and get out of that inning? Of course, everybody would. But is it a tough play? Absolutely. Very hard play to make, and it just took one of those weird hops. He knocked it down, and then he fumbled it on the bag.
If you're just tuning in and maybe you had a busy day yesterday, didn't watch the game, didn't pay attention to the news, and you said, did he say Kimbrel? Yes, Craig Kimbrel made his debut. That news that the Rays picked up Kimbrel came across not long after our show yesterday. How surprised were you when you saw that news that the Rays had picked up Kimbrel?
Not surprised at all.
I thought like it made a ton of sense, right? Like I was just surprised that like it just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, oh wow, that's a great move for the Rays. And we were talking about it. He has struggled as of late. He's certainly not the Craig Kimbrel he once was, picking up the 5th most saves in all of Major League Baseball history. Like he's not that guy anymore. But, when we all started talking about it before the show, like I said, if anybody's going to make the most out of Craig Kimbrel right now, it's the Rays. And I won't be surprised if we're looking back at this in a couple months and saying, like, hey, I'm really glad they made that move.
Yeah, and, I was not surprised by that because when the Mets designated him for assignment, a guy who's getting close to 40 years old, made sense because the Mets aren't very good right now. The Rays are good. So it's a good opportunity for Kimbrel to come in there for a good team. And for what they need right now with battling injuries, it makes a ton of sense to bring him in. And you just got to hope that he can, with that experience in the bullpen, not only as an arm, but as a vocal leader, he can help out with that bullpen a lot. But Jesse Schultens, he was placed on the 15-day injured list with his right wrist strain. So my concern here, Pat, here's my big concern. And it's something that it happens throughout a long baseball season, 162 games. But right now it's piling up, and it's very reminiscent of last year. Ton of injuries. And for this team, we talked about it before the season. You don't have a lot of power. So you're going to have to everyone's going to have to play their role. And everyone was playing their role. Now all those role guys, they're getting hurt. And that's an issue. Ben Williamson was so good for this team. He got hurt. Johnny DeLuca now dealing with the hamstring, who's been injury prone throughout his career. I'm just going to say it. He got hurt. Taylor Walls now dealing with an injury. So you got to hope that Taylor Walls is okay. And it's just precautionary, they say, what they're dealing with Taylor Walls. But we saw when the Rays started winning, Taylor Walls is the one who's playing shortstop.
Let me ask you a question, and you're right. And by the way, as somebody pointed out on the text line before we even got on the air, like Taylor Walls is gone for a couple games, and now look. Like 7 errors in the last 2 games.
Yeah, Oliver Dunn, he's not a natural shortstop, and he goes in there and he can't touch the bag on the double play.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, which was absurd. Like, is Carson Williams one of our top prospects, or is he not?
It's a really, really good question, Pat.
Because if Carson Williams is one of the Rays' top prospects, what the hell are we doing putting a third baseman at shortstop who, by the way, looked like a third baseman at shortstop? Like, these are the little things that, listen, I'm not saying Kevin Cash is a bad manager. He's a very good manager, as a matter of fact. But these are some of the decisions that he makes, some of the cute little things that he does that just drive me crazy and make me like, maybe he's not an elite manager. I mean, like, I can't wrap my head around being told that Carson Williams, and listen, I know the kid's batting 115 this year, okay? He's got 3 RBIs, 115 on the year. I get it. But if he's supposed to be, and by the way, he's on the big league roster. He could be in the minor leagues if he's not ready. If he's supposed to be one of our top prospects in the entire organization, why the hell are we playing a third baseman at shortstop?
I think within your question, there's an answer that we're not going to hear from Kevin Cash.
He's got to be better than Dunn.
He might just it's Kevin Cash is going to take this opportunity to see everything he's got. And he's already seen a little bit of Carson Williams. We have not seen a lot of Dunn.
You know what? Let's try out Junior Caminero at shortstop tonight. Why
now
the
you're
hell?
just being silly.
Why the hell not?
Now you're just being silly.
What do you mean? We're throwing third baseman out there for the hell of it.
Dunn had played shortstop in the minors this year, and quite a bit. Not, it's not his primary position, but you got to learn. You got to see what you got. You don't know what you got until you try it out, and that's the beauty of Kevin Cash. And I know it bothers a lot of people.
I didn't find it beautiful last night.
When you're working with a lot of different pieces and you're trying to figure out this equation, and you just brought in Dunn, and you want to see what you've got because you haven't put him in the field. You've been seeing him in different situations where you really haven't got a chance to look at him, and it tells me exactly. And I agree with you. Like Carson Williams, we've heard everything about this prospect, so
hey, who's
why
Oliver
not
Dunn going to become? Like, if Carson Williams is one of our best prospects, put him out there and test the kid. Otherwise, what are we doing?
I think it tells a lot more about Carson Williams and how Kevin Cash views him and sees him right now.
Why is he here? Why isn't he in the minors getting valuable reps instead of being here sitting on the bench while a third baseman plays his position?
I think you ask really legitimate questions here, Pat, which is kind of rare sometimes.
That's not true.
I know. These are good questions. These are very good. It's
very frustrating to I want to see my best prospects, and I want them to look like my best prospects. But if they're not ready to be that, then get them back down to the minors to get ready for that. But
right now, you need all the help.
Answer at shortstop.
Right now, you need all the help you can get. I don't think it was the right move. I'm with you. I think Carson Williams, I was stunned by that. But I am one who kind of just blindly, and I know I make fun of you sometimes for blindly having blind faith in things. When it comes to Kevin Cash, I do have blind faith. And I think there's a method to the madness, and there's always a reasoning behind something. And for him to put Dunn at shortstop yesterday over Carson Williams tells me there's something in his mind that, we can question it, but I'm just going to let it play out.
I have a question for you, Aaron. And I'm not even being facetious here. Like, what gives you the blind faith in Kevin Cash? Because I think there's a lot of Rays fans that feel similar to you, but I'm with Pat on this. Like, we haven't won a World Series here, so what is it that you're like, you know what? I trust him.
I mean, if the World Series is a lot of teams don't win World Series. Like, it's really hard to win the World Series. They've come close, But regular season-wise, and I know playoffs is a problem at times, it's not Kevin Cash's fault in the playoffs the bats go dead. Like the bats in big situations have to step up. But the way he moves around and manipulates and changes the lineup, puts guys in different positions, he's just a really heady manager.
I think Kevin Cash is a very good manager. I think you and some people give him too much credit. And I'm far from Keith, who texts us every day that he's a terrible manager, right? Like, I think he's a very good manager. I think he's won Manager of the Year 2 times for a reason. However, he's too cute too often. There's too many things like this, like the messing with the lineup the way he does. Sometimes it just is too much for me. Like he's too cute too often. And it hurt him last night. Does he put Oliver Dunn back at shortstop tonight? Is that the answer again tonight as they try to avoid the sweep?
I doubt it. But I don't think
I'll hope not.
I personally don't think Oliver Dunn playing shortstop last night was the reason the Rays lost the game.
No, but it's a questionable decision. And like he couldn't turn to in a situation where like if he could have, it could have made a big difference.
So here's my problem with guys that are that put a lot of criticism on Cash. When they're playing well and they're playing like the best team in baseball, nobody mentions Kevin Cash. Nobody. Nobody.
That's baseball.
But when they're playing bad, then it's Kevin Cash. When they make a few mistakes, then it's Kevin Cash's fault.
Dude, listen to Sports Talk Radio in any city when teams are winning and they're getting credit for winning, and when they're losing, people are criticizing them for losing.
Do you think Taylor? Well, no, because it's silly. Because you don't, and you're not alone. A lot of people won't give him the credit. When Taylor Walls, do you think Taylor Walls helped change the season, turn the season for the better?
Yeah.
A lot of managers wouldn't have the balls to put Taylor Walls back out there. They wouldn't have the balls to do it. Good. Kevin Cash, good. See, that's the thing. You just don't give a guy enough credit, and that's fine. Like if you're gonna be that guy, you can be that guy. I'm the guy that I
give him credit all the time. I just said he's a very good manager. He's a 2-time Manager of the Year for a reason.
Well, when you make
cute decisions
in one game to try things out, when you're in Baltimore and you're 34-18 now, you're 34-17.
You think Kevin Cash has made a cute decision in one game?
Well,
because he does it all. That's who he is.
And they're one of the best teams in freaking baseball with your cute decisions that you're so mad about. But one of the best teams in baseball, doing it with a ton of injuries.
Okay.
And doing it with one of the worst payrolls in baseball. So, yeah, I think Kevin Cash is an unbelievable manager. It's not blind faith all the time.
He's a very good manager who does too much cute stuff. He's too cute too often.
Sometimes you have to be. When you're dealing with a team like this and you're dealing with a payroll like this and a lot of different guys, you're not a powerful team. Yeah, you got to have 2 different catchers. You got to roll different guys out there. You got to come up with what people would deem weird things in different situations.
All right, Aaron.